What's up, YouTube? Dang, we just had internet problems from hell. We had to get a hold of the whatever CenturyLink, and we're live. We're live. We're live. Well, I'll wait for some of you guys to join, but I wanted to talk about our new GY6 service tune-up kit. This guy here will come with 120 milliliters of oil, cable lube with a power luber, and 10W40 motor oil, CR7HSA spark plug, and magnetic drain plug kit. Sweet. So this all comes in a kit. It's on our website. And let you guys know. How you guys doing? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Worked on the Street Cub today, which was not too efficient, but worked on her. So a new video should be coming out here soon. I'm going to show you also, if you're looking to get a little bit more performance out of your scooter, especially 50cc scooter, we can talk 150 or 50cc. These are your Variator sliders, Dr. Pulley Variator sliders. What I would recommend if you have a 50cc is a 5-gram Variator rollers. Those things are going to make your takeoff speed a lot better, carry you better on the hills. This is actually an 8-gram, but that's what I'd recommend. And if you have a 150cc, like a GY6, do 10-gram. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is this breather kit. Scooter, 50cc or 150cc. I can have that. Here is a scooter, 50cc or 150cc. GY6 engine. What you would do is unscrew the oil dipstick, and then you screw this guy in, and it relieves the pressure off the motor. It gives it a pretty good noticeable difference in power, and it's pretty cheap. The other thing I wanted to talk about is something I'm super excited about. Definitely in the very, very beginning beta testing phases of this, but this is our, as you know, rolling wrench electronic fuel injection kit. If you notice, this is the stock Get motor, the stock Honda Ruckus motor. I haven't started this. I think I started it yesterday, but there it is. Turn it off quick so we don't die in here. But that's the this is the kit. It's going to be a plug and play kit for the Get motor, the stock Ruckus. I already have this guy pretty much done. The GY6, that's this one for the GY6 EFI. I just have like some very minor things to button up on that, and I'm putting a new starter clutch in this. So those two things I'm super excited about. And the other thing, which I don't have yet, is we've been using Banjing CDI coil combos for our plug and play wiring harness, and we just got our own made from Taiwan, so really good quality. We've been testing it for a long time. Actually, here is our test unit, and can't wait to get our first shipment in on those, and that way we don't run out. We've ran out a couple times, and we've had them do some alterations to make the product even better. So those are my update on the products. Now for you guys, let me see if I can move this light over. What do you guys have for questions?
I want to know about your Street Cub.
Oh, the Street Cub. So the Street Cub I just did today. Actually, one of the main reasons I'm even here right now is to get a spanner socket, and then I can pull the front end off, and then I could put that big fat tire on the front end. But I need to cut the front end widen it. It's probably gonna last, I don't know. Hopefully I'll have it done by the end of the week, the front end deal, but I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. But it's coming. I did some filming today, so excited about that. You got anything else, T? Oh, Tia's over here, my wife.
Hello.
And my son and daughter. Back here sniffing around. This is our portable puppy playpen. You know, Lyle's just sitting on the porch, on her front porch of her house here. She got 21 teeth removed last Monday. Tilly, are you still in pain? Yeah, she doesn't have any. Her mouth is like a puppet. And Rick has like 14 teeth removed. And then before that, like 8 teeth removed. So our dogs are toothless. They're toothless.
Somebody's wondering if the wheels can be swapped out on a Ruckus to be swapped out with our GY6 OEM conversion kit.
They want to know. So we have a GY6 conversion kit to swap a 150cc into a Ruckus. And the question is what? The
wheels can be swapped out on a Ruckus.
The wheels can be swapped out. You can do aftermarket wheels
with our GY6 OEM conversion kit.
Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure what you mean, but we supply a rear wheel to make it look as stock as possible with that GY6 swap kit, which is on our website. That comes with everything you need to swap the GY6. But if you want to do different wheels, like some fancy wheels, you can do that too. But the stock wheel, this might be your question, the stock wheel off the 50cc will not work on the GY6 engine. I wish it did, but.
And then what is the best first upgrade for a 2017 Honda Ruckus?
The best first upgrade for the Honda Ruckus is our, there's 2 things that come to mind, and it depends on your budget.
It's a 50cc.
So if your budget is very minimal, like $38, you can do Dr. Pulley sliders. I do 5 gram, 16 by 13 Dr. Pulley sliders. That's like the most basic, cheap upgrade that you can do. And we have a video on our CVT kit on YouTube. You can look at that on how to do that. But if you have a larger budget, I would do the plug and play CDI box, which we have on our website. It's a CDI coil combo. And that's gonna raise you're mainly gonna notice in the top speed. You'll notice a little bit more on the acceleration as well, but mainly top speed. And then we also have our CVT transmission kit. It's our exclusive rolling wrench CVT transmission kit. And that makes a pretty big difference, especially if you combine that with this guy, which is, those are the 2 like basic upgrades that I would recommend. Exhaust and intake, you can do those as well, but it's not like that dramatic of a difference. If you want to take one step further, then you can do like a 20mm carburetor, or like I just showed you that EFI kit, that's a 34mm throttle body, but of course it was reduced down to 20mm. So hopefully that answers some questions on what you should do. What else we got, T?
Chris wants to know, does our high-speed gear kit that goes in the rear of
Yes. Yes, that it will make you go 50, at least it makes me go 50 miles an hour. I weigh about 140 pounds. But you really need to do that with a big bore kit. That's what it's made for. You can do it, you can put that transmission kit in a Zuma, but you're really going to lose a lot of low end. You'd have to do some heavy rollers. I haven't done a whole lot of experimenting with the 50cc. Big bores like the Melosi kit or the Polini, or even that 75cc big bore kit that we have on our website, that will definitely make it go 50 miles an hour. Right now, I think you're topped out at like 41 or something like that. It just doesn't go any faster. It doesn't matter if you have a big bore kit or not. So in a nutshell, I could go 50. I wouldn't really recommend it unless you have a big bore kit on it. If you do, then I would definitely do it, because the big bore kit is almost pointless if you can't go any faster. So hopefully that answers the question.
Okay, and then.
Oh, let me add to that. So the Yamaha Zuma 50F is the same engine that's in the Yamaha C3 and the Yamaha Vino 4T. Just to let you know.
Okay. Let's see here. AK wants to know, he's looking at two different types of scooters, a genuine Ruckus 50 and a Piaggio Typhoon. What is your opinion on those? And then does the Piaggio Typhoon, does it come restricted from the factory?
Okay. So the I don't know if you guys can hear. Can you guys hear Tia when she talks? That would help me out if somebody can tell me if you can hear. That way I don't have to repeat the question. The question is, should he do a? So yes, they can hear. So that's good.
Okay. What's your opinion is the question, and then is it restricted?
My opinion is so they're both. The Piaggio I don't know 100%, but the Roughhouse is restricted. I would go with the Roughhouse. The reason why is because Piaggio parts are more expensive and they're not as user friendly to work on. A lot more. That's just my opinion. Piaggio is a really good scooter. The Roughhouse is restricted in the exhaust, if I remember right. And the Roughhouse has a Minrelli-based motor where the parts are readily available. The Typhoon, I think it has a Franco Marini motor, if I remember right, but the parts aren't as common. The Genuine Roughhouse is made in Taiwan by Genuine Scooter Company in Chicago, and Piaggio is made like basically the same as Vespa. It's made in Italy. So as far as quality, probably the Piaggio is a little bit better, but I would prefer the Genuine Roughhouse for sure, just because of the Minrelli-based engine. And by the way, I have a Minrelli full engine build coming out on YouTube. It's already been filmed. I just have to do a bunch of editing. So I'm excited about that.
Okay.
Hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, do the Roughhouse.
Let's see. I'm not sure if you do anything bigger than 50cc scooters, but which do you think is a better, a Honda PCX 150 or Yamaha S-Max?
So the Yamaha S-Max is sweet. I've only honestly ever worked on one and rode one. Honda PCX, I've never worked on one. I rode one in Thailand, which was sweet. I love the PCX. If you look up like PCX Thailand customization, oh man, they're sweet. They're both, gosh, that's a good one. And we do work on bigger than 50cc engines, that's for sure. But I'm a Honda man. I have a Honda truck, like 4 Honda scooters and motorcycles. I'm a Honda man. Got to go with Honda. But I mean, Yamaha's the same type of quality, both really good. The PCX, I would say there's way more available for it, more common. I don't know where you live, but I barely see either of those scooters. But the PCX is all over Thailand. There's so many upgraded parts. It's kind of like the Grom. But that's what I'd recommend.
And then going back to the Roughhouse or the Typhoon, will the CDI and the Roughhouse help with performance if you change it out?
The CDI on the Roughhouse, they do help, but it's not that dramatic. That's like the last upgrade that I would do. Yeah, to answer your question on that, I would the CDI box would be like the last thing that I would do on the Roughhouse.
We got Fish Sticks in the house.
Fish Stick, we know you. How's it going, Fish Stick?
He has a question about, where did it go? Where are you? Why does my A14 cam not work with my stock GY6 152 QMI?
The only thing I could come up with is, do you have a GY6 A motor and you're trying to, or you have a GY6 B motor and you're trying to put a GY6 A cam in there? That's the only time I've ever had any problems with it. What do you mean it won't fit? Is it just a completely different design? If that's the case, I know that I've had that problem before where I tried to put a GY6 A cam in a GY6B motor. And the difference between a GY6A is made in China, GY6A, and the GY6B is made in Taiwan. I've got a few videos on that last one.
When I'm TDC, the exhaust is closed, but he has the B motor.
That's probably what's going on. You have a B motor and you're putting an A cam in. Yeah, their heads are different. So that's probably your problem. Hopefully that helps answer your question.
Mr. McIntyre says he's still trying to get the Yamaha Zuma converted to water-cooled. He took a look at the TITA kit, but doesn't seem very promising as far as being compatible and working, at least without major modifications.
So TITA makes a retro kit to make your Yamaha Zuma a water-cooled. That thing is sweet. That'll help you out a lot. As far as like, can I recommend a water-cooled kit that I've used and I can recommend and I know works? I don't have one. I've seen them, but I've never personally done that. I do a lot of work for customers, but honestly, like when you get into like extreme performance work like that, that's more like DIY. I mean, I do some of it, but I've never done that.
All right, and then going back to
Rick.
Chris about the Zuma. He lives in Virginia. It is perfectly okay to take out the shim on your Variator on a Zuma 50.
Okay.
Is it in order to gain a couple more miles an hour on the top speed?
Yes, I get a lot of crap on my video where I remove the shim. People say I'm going to ruin the motor and all this. You guys, I wouldn't do something like that to you guys. Put a video out where I make you ruin things. But the shim inside the Variator, what he's referring to is on the where these rollers are. Behind there's a little shim. It allows you can't go above a certain mile per hour because it's restricting. It's a spacer basically. And when you pull that out, you do gain a little bit more miles per hour. One thing you do have to be careful with is people always say you're going to mess the crank splines up. You got to pay attention to that. You got to line it up really good. But yeah, that's an upgrade that I would recommend. Keep in mind of the crank splines. I should have. Now that I know I've gotten a bunch of crap about that, if I had to do that video again, I would mention that. So I'm mentioning it now. Just be careful of the crank splines when you do that, but it's perfectly okay to remove that shim. It's a free upgrade that you can do. It doesn't require any parts. You're just removing the shim.
Okay. Spoons 257. Will they run into any issues putting a Ruckus swing arm on my Metropolitan? I'm assuming they're the same block.
So you could do that. Yeah, you could put a Ruckus swing arm on your Metropolitan, but the difference is it's longer. What he's referring to is, let me show you what he means, just for people that don't know what we're talking about. So on the Honda Ruckus, see this line right here? You probably can't, but the CVT here, you can take it off and remove it from the motor, so the motor is completely separate. You could put a Metro one on there, it's just going to be shorter, or you can take a Metro and put a Ruckus one on there. It's just longer or shorter depending on the option that you're trying to do. It would be okay if you did that though. Just know if you have a Metro and you do that, it's going to be longer, and the wheel is going to hit the fender on the rear of the Ruckus or the Metro.
Okay. Fishstick wants to know, is there a cam that you can recommend for the B motor?
TITA. Yeah, go to TITA Performance in Taiwan. They pretty much only do B motor stuff. That's what I'd recommend for the GY6B motor.
Okay. Guns and Mopeds would like to know, they have a Tao ATM 50-A1. They put 100cc big bore kit in it, and the starter no longer turns over the motor. How should he fix it?
Oh, okay. So, first of all, I'll clear up. Some people, this happens a lot. So, when you get like an 80cc, 100cc big bore kit, 90cc, some people call 100cc 100cc when it's actually an 80cc. So, there's actually no such thing as 100cc. I learned later. The biggest you can go is a 90cc bore, and that's a 52 millimeter bore. I just want to get that out of the way just for, I'm not trying to make you feel weird, but I just wanted to educate everybody that you got to be careful when you buy these big bore kits because they're not displayed correctly. So if it's a 52 millimeter, it's a 50 millimeter. So that means it's more like an 80cc. Anyway, it doesn't matter on that. Your question, that's irrelevant, but I just wanted to add that in. It's still a big bore kit, and it still makes a huge difference.
All right.
Let me finish that question.
Sorry. Okay.
Ground wire. Wish I had to show you. Let me see if I can show you. You have a ground wire. I would run a dedicated ground like this all the way to your battery. A ground just like this all the way to your battery. Because the ground that you have now is probably not sufficient enough to crank over that engine. So I have run into that problem before, and normally it's a ground problem. So I would run a dedicated 4 gauge or 0 gauge ground wire from the battery all the way to the bolt that holds the starter on. Okay?
Okay, and I missed this question. This is from Rodney. He is a paraplegic, and I just bought a Mad Dog trike, 150cc,
Okay.
and want to know if there's a GY6 engine with a reverse, or can one be built?
Yes. Yes, so the Ice Bear, is it Ice Bear? It doesn't matter. It's a GY6 trike.
Mad Dog, yeah.
Mad Dog, Ice Bear.
Yeah.
Trike. I don't have a whole lot of experience with those, but one thing I know for sure is buggies and ATVs have GY6 engines in them, and they have reverse. So yes, you can definitely do that. I wish I could tell you how or how it worked or anything like that. That I don't know, just don't have the experience, but I know that you can do it for sure. I'm surprised that they don't actually have reverse. I guess you wouldn't really need it unless you're paraplegic, but yeah, I think you can do that. I think you can do that. Just look into a buggy, reverse. Just look. Maybe get a hold of a buggy, somebody that specializes in buggies. That would be your best bet. All right. Hopefully that helped answer your question.
All right, and then you was gaming? I don't know. They have a 50cc Kymco Agility. I was wondering what I could do to make it as fast as a 70.
50cc Kymco Agility.
And wants to make it fast as a 70cc.
Okay, so 50cc Kymco Agility, and you want to make it keep up with the 70cc. Is that what we're trying to? I could just tell you some simple steps to. I don't understand the question completely. Maybe you can clarify that. But
that's what he's talking about, because they're talking like personally, other people in there are talking about like a 70cc Melosi kit.
Oh, okay.
As much speed, he wants to get as much speed out of it before he upgrades it to the 70 Melosi cc. So what could he do before that? So
I guess the question is the Kymco Agility a 50cc 2-stroke or a 4-stroke? Because they make both.
2-stroke.
2-stroke?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've never seen, I know they make them, but I've never had my hands on a Kymco Agility 2-stroke. But I'm assuming it's the same exact motor as like a Kymco People. If that's the case, it should be pretty quick by itself. But some of those Kymcos had in their Variator, they had the, do we have a Variator around here? Quick and easy? I don't think we do. I see one over here, just a second. Open this thing. Some of those, see that thing there? Here's a Variator. Do you see that boss? Inside the Variator, that boss is notched, so it won't go any faster. That's what I would do, is open up that Variator and see if that boss is notched. It shouldn't have any notches. It should look just like this, and if it looks any different, it's restricted. If it's not going any faster than like 35 miles an hour, definitely restricted. So look into that, and you can do lighter rollers, or Variator weights like this. I would do like a 5 gram, and I think those are 15 by 12. Those are like the quick things you can do without the big bore kit. Otherwise, you should be going like 45 or 50 miles an hour on that stock motor.
Okay. What do we charge to do a big bore kit on a Zuma 50? I should know that, but I don't.
We can pull it up. We have a little thing that we pull up, but starting at, or I would say that the rough estimate is $235 to do the big bore install and the rejet, plus our service call to come out to you.
Alright, Fish Sticks has another question. Do you recommend drilling the hole bigger in the CVK carb to lift it up faster for a better throttle response and shortening the spring by 1 inch?
So that drill a hole where?
In the CVK carb to lift it up faster for a better throttle response?
Can you clarify what you mean on the, where would you drill the hole at? I've heard of people doing that in the slide, but my 2-second thought is no. I don't think I would do that, but.
And shortening the spring by 1 inch?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that would be beneficial unless there's like a, I don't know on the slide.
Yeah.
I've done that before with like a dyno jet kit, and it does help, but I would be afraid to tell you to do that because I haven't actually done that before. I hate for you to, ruin it. So, my answer is no. I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
But if you want some killer throttle response, I do have a GY6 fuel injection kit coming out soon. I rode the Ruckus this weekend, by the way, which was mega fun with the lowered seat pan and the lower bars. I'll put a video out maybe in the next couple weeks on that. I've been dying to get my drone out and do like drone aerial, while I'm cruising because it has that follow me mode. Pretty sweet. What are you doing over there, T?
I'm just going through these to make sure that I didn't miss anybody. I did miss Brendan's.
Okay.
He was talking earlier about the upgrade for the Ruckus. If he's still even in here, I don't know.
She's just scrolling through, figuring out which one's next.
Going to change the Variator. This is like way from the beginning.
We missed out
we were
on.
talking about the upgrading the stock Ruckus. What's the best Ruckus? He was going to change the Variator and do the 5-gram oils as well as a Kevlar belt, but he's having a hard time finding these parts in Canada.
Okay. See if I can get you in there. Are you in there? Yeah. Okay, he was gonna. We could send you a CVT kit to Canada. I think it would be okay if we did that, wouldn't it, T? We don't normally do international shipping.
Yeah, no, I would just have to have an address so I could give you a quote because the quote definitely wouldn't match the internet quote. I don't think you can even purchase anything online to Canada.
What was the original question?
We already answered that one.
Okay.
Okay. So if Brandon's still here, he can respond. You can message us with your address and we can see what shipping is. But we have another one. Have you ever ridden an Adley GTA 50? And if so, what's your opinion?
No, never have. GTA 50. Adley GTA 50. I've ridden Adley, 4 or 2-stroke scooters, definitely. But now I don't think I have. It's hard for me to give you an opinion. It's so weird though. Like when we do a lot of traveling and stuff, and it's different parts of the world or the country. Like for instance, Key West has tons of scooters, but they barely have the scooters that we have. And or if you go to Los Angeles, they have different scooters. Like in Key West, I barely ever see a Kymco. Like a Kymco people. They have a lot of like, Hondas, and they have like the TGB scooters, and TGB Key West scooters, of course.
It's a Bintelli scooter.
Bintelli?
It's supplied by Bintelli, the Adley.
The Adley is?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. Like, and then I hear people, like they have the Yamaha Ruckus, the Honda Ruckus in like Japan and Europe with the 4-stroke fuel injection. We don't have that, and that's called the Zuma actually, or Zoomer in Japan and Europe. We have the Ruckus, which is it's just weird. There's some of these scooters I just haven't seen or messed with.
I don't think you'll know the answer to this at all, but on the he has a Melosi Wildline exhaust. One of the bolts on the exhaust manifold rattled out, and I was wondering if you knew the size of the bolt.
And is it a what size bolt on the what?
On the exhaust manifold.
So there's two different. Is it a stud? Is it a stud like this? Fish stick, thank you! Fish stick just sent us some dough. Appreciate that. You're always doing that. You're so generous. We appreciate that, Fish stick. Thank you. Normally this is what you're talking about when you say an exhaust bolt rattles out. Is it a stud that's inside the head? Or where is it? I can try to tell you.
Okay. For a Zuma 50F4T, are there any options to upgrade the fork?
Zuma 54T?
Yeah. Also, thanks for the part so far. Can't wait to install them. And I don't know if have you bought stuff from us before?
We could pull it up. The Zuma 4T, can you do the forks? Suspension. Yes, you can. But you'll have to do some measurements. There's nothing that I could tell you right off the top that's gonna... Actually, those are... Were those disc brake in the front? I think they are. NCY forks. Or RRGS forks. Those are the two that I would recommend. But you have to do some measurements to make sure that they're actually gonna work. Should be able... It should work.
And it's just a bolt he's talking about.
Oh, just a bolt? Dang, I don't know. I don't know. I wish I did. I'm not familiar with that model.
What video has you explaining how to bleed your front disc brake on the Ruckus?
I don't... Geez, good question. I don't think I have one for the Ruckus, because I'm pretty sure, I don't know. If you could just search brake bleed in our library, gosh, I think we have like 260 videos or something, like 270 videos that I've done. And I know I haven't done one recently, but this thing.
And then for going back to the upgrade for the fork, he just bought the sliders, filter, EFI, and rear shock. Got them Wednesday. Sliders.
Oh, okay, sweet. Heck yeah. So just so you know, on that tuner, if you actually, I won't talk about it now because I don't want to confuse you, but if you have any questions on that tuner, just let me know. I can talk to you. And the shock, you'll love that shock. That's a major upgrade. So thank you for buying those. Oops, just knocked the heater over just a sec.
It must be Aaron then, right? AK?
Yeah, I think so. It also smells like a fire in here.
It's because you took that over.
Jesus.
And he told us we should have an option on our Patreon site just to give a one-time donation instead of a subscription.
Oh, so if you want to do a donation on Patreon and you don't want to keep doing it every month, all you do is it'll ask you how many times you want the billing cycle. You just put one. You just don't do any more donation than 1 month. That's how you do it the one time.
Okay.
And while we're on the subject, if you find my channel helpful and you wanna help support the channel,
Look how nice you look.
head on over to Patreon and you could donate and help me free up some time so I can spend time on quality videos.
Ooh, thank you. There we go. We're
Right on, right on. You guys are awesome. You guys are way cool. People are giving us dough. I appreciate
know.
that.
This is like exciting.
We didn't sign up for that, but hey, it definitely helps us out. Helps us do more of these, that's for sure. So thank you. We thank you from the bottom of our heart, for sure.
Seriously. Rasta BTV wants to know, is compression the only reason why a GY6 engine won't start when you have spark and gas?
So if you have fuel, spark, and gas, and you need fuel, spark, compression, those are the three you need. But if your timing is off, then it won't start. What kind of scooter was it?
They didn't tell us. Rasta, what kind of scooter do you have?
So you can if it's a scooter, like the one thing that I see a lot is if you've ever had your magneto off. Let me show you what I mean. So that since I'm able to, if you ever had your magneto, let me flip this light around too. Check out my painting I did. The engine spins. See this pickup? It tells the engine when to spark. See that little magnet every time it goes around? So yeah, fuel, sparking, compression is what you need. And timing will cause a no start issue as well.
Fish Six says that I told him not to tempt you, but he said to do a burnout and he'll donate 50 euros. That's about $68. I said, don't tempt him.
I'll do a burnout.
Oh.
What do I do a burnout on though? We don't have anything with the. If I had Uncle Phil would kill me. If I had this thing running right now, I would do a burnout in 2 seconds. And unfortunately, this guy here, it's 50 cc all stock. That's not gonna do a burnout. Oh, let's see. Let's try it.
Matthew.
Let's try a burn. I don't know if it'll do a burnout on this thing. Here we go. Let's try it. Let it warm up real quick. The Eton Beamer. Can I put water down? I'm gonna put some water down so we can burn out. Let's see. Gotta put some water down. See, you're gonna have to hold the cam. We're gonna do a burnout for you and for everyone. I don't even know if it'll do a burnout, honestly. We'll see.
Stay back. I don't know how
Come
to.
around the side right here.
Watch our dogs. Oh goodness.
Oh, I can't believe that actually did a burnout. Right on the side.
Got all kinds of.
Oh, well scared. Oh,
I expected more out of you.
well scared. I don't have the right application for that. But, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now, anybody want to buy this? It's a monster. It's a monster. Stock 50cc Monrelli. Same motor you find in the Zuma. Sorry, Lau. Didn't mean to freak you out, Lau. Sorry about that, Rick. Thanks for encouraging me to do that. That was fun.
Okay, let me catch up here. So back to the
Anyway.
exhaust. Oh gosh, I'm behind now. DIY Nuke, good night. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning here. Do you have moped brands like Creedler and Zundap?
No, we don't have those moped brands. We don't, do you mean, so like, mopeds have pedals, scooters don't. I don't really work on mopeds a whole lot. It stinks in here, you guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, I haven't heard of those brands, but I'm sure they're pretty sweet. There's so many brands that I need to explore.
All right, and then going back to the guy who bought, I think, the EFI, the shocks, and all that stuff. What do you think my top speed will get to after I install all of my parts plus the Two Brothers exhaust?
So he's got the Two Brothers. He's got the, by the way, he's got the Yamaha Zuma 50F, and he did slider. It was the sliders, EFI tuner, and pod filter. And Two Brothers exhaust. So the top speed on that is not going to ever exceed about 42 miles an hour, unless you do transmission gears. That's really the only thing. That's which I have on the website, but it's definitely going to help with the performance, that's for sure. But the top speed won't change on that just because the rev limiter is set and you can't change that unless you do gearing in the transmission. It's kind of like you can only, kind of like a bicycle, you can only pedal so fast. It doesn't matter, you know, Lance Armstrong's pedaling or you're pedaling or whoever. You only pedal so fast, so you're only going to achieve that top speed.
And have the restrictor removed.
Oh, okay. I would say around 40, 42 is really the max that you're going to get unless you do transmission gears. I know that's not what you wanted to hear. But the good news is you can do that later. You've got all the bases covered, so. I would do that big bore kit. I know you were planning on it. But I did send you that tuner. That tuner I sent you was for the 50cc. You know, it has a capability of adding, I think, about 20% more fuel. I didn't want to send you our big bore tuner that we had custom made because if I do that, then you're going to get way too much fuel. So just when you're ready for the 70cc big bore kit, then send the tuner back. I'll program it for you and send it back to you. All right, what else?
You got in trouble. Your burnout was weak.
My burnout was weak. Well, if I had my
I agree.
Well, if I had my 232 Ruckus here, it would be a different story. But you guys, I have 50 cc's here. They don't burn out really. But at least it was fun. It was fun.
Thank you. We still donated.
Oh, sweet. Thanks for donating. I appreciate it. You didn't have to do that really. Anyway, I would have done it just for fun.
And then
this stick is awesome, isn't he?
Yeah. And then I think his name's Aaron, if I remember sending that out right. If it's not, I'm sorry, I'm calling you the wrong name, but he wants to do the big bore and gears next year. So
okay, yeah, you said, although I am having some issues with it, I'll show you about that in the next video.
That's so funny. All right. Have I missed? Oh gosh. And Brazil too?
Brazil too, son of a gun.
All over the place.
Sweet. I'm jealous of everybody that is not in the United States. I want to travel more right now. All right, yeah. No.
They can't. I don't know. We'll have to look for that video. They're not seeing a specific video about the brake bleeding.
Maybe I don't. Did I say that I had a brake bleed video?
Somebody from Jamaica too.
I could show you really quick. Do I even have disc brakes in here? I don't think I have any disc brakes in here. Oh, yeah, I do. I think that forget this Eton is disc brakes. Oh yeah. So to bleed brakes, this makes it really easy. So take the brake, master cylinder cap off, and it'll tell you what's on here. It'd be a DOT4 normally. Actually, this one doesn't say. DOT3 or DOT4. DOT4 is the same as DOT3. It just has the option of not ruining your paint if you drip it on the paint. So do DOT4. Then what you're going to want to do is pop this cap off there. And then you want to get a hose that fits perfectly on the top of this nipple here. And then this is an 8mm, so get your wrench ready, and then run the hose down into like somewhere where the oil can go, the brake fluid. And then you're gonna open this guy up with the hose attached. Start squeezing like this, slow, really slow. Meanwhile, the fluid's gonna be coming out of the bottom there into your pan. At the same time, you're gonna be adding and pumping. Do that about 3 times through the reservoir here. It'll go down. Don't let it get to the bottom. If you do, it's going to suck air in. So keep it full. Don't let air into the system. And then once you get it, about 3 reservoirs full, close this guy off. Close it off. and then, you know, pump it a couple times, not too fast because it'll squirt out. And then make sure this is full with your .4 brake fluid and put it back on. Really easy. That's the easy way to doing it. So there's a video for you now. I could do it in real time another time. I thought I had a video on that, but hopefully that helped.
Where is the 70cc?
Huh?
Somebody asked where the 70cc is.
The 70C, oh, that's the 75cc C3, that's at the house. I have like 5 scooters at the house. We're at the shop. More like, I wouldn't even really call it a shop, more like an inventory room.
Do you know Andre Scooter Ert's video channel? He makes a new project. Pop, stop.
No, I've never heard of that one. I'll look him up though. Was it Andrew Scooter?
Andre? Scooter?
We'll check him out. I'll look at it later. Thanks for that.
Fish Sticks, you're lucky he doesn't have the 232 here. Otherwise, we would be in trouble.
Yeah, the 232. Although I am having some fuel injection issues, I'm having a tuner built for my fuel injection system. Which, by the way, the new fuel injection system, if I know what I knew now, I would have never done that fuel injection system. There's just too many loops to jump through. The new fuel injection system is going to be great compared to that. So, yeah, that 232 it flies, man. It go about 100 miles an hour. Not that I've gone that fast, but I know that it will.
Yeah, right. Rodrigo, I need your help to customize my Honda 90cc.
Honda 90cc?
I would love to see the blue motorcycle. Also see the episode 5.
Oh yeah, episode 5's coming. The Street Cub. It's actually a 1982 Passport 90. So what was the question?
He's from Brazil. It's him. It's the same person.
Oh, Brazil.
Needs help customizing my Honda 90cc.
Oh, I see. You have the Honda Passport 90. I think they call it just a Cub in different countries. How common are those Cubs in Brazil? That's what I want to know. Here they're like not even that common at all. In Thailand, Jesus, that's how it got me onto that bike. They're everywhere. Actually, those Passports are the most produced motorcycle in the world ever made. There over 1 million of them have been produced. And they've had the same design since like, 62 or something like that. I'm gonna pull that motor out though and put I think it was like a 145 motor in there. That'll be like the last step.
I don't think I have anything more.
Well, we're running dry, you guys. This has been a fun one, you guys. Definitely. This is probably the funnest one we've done. Doing burnouts, scaring our dog. That's not cool. Sorry. Well, we really appreciate it. And we try to do this once a week. It doesn't always happen. But save your questions and stuff up for the next one. I'll try to bring the 232 next time. We can do a burnout.
Do we need to answer that one question from Facebook?
We had a Facebook question that we may have to answer. Just a sec. She's looking it up.
Maybe.
What is the biggest CCs you can fit on a scooter with the original 50cc? So the biggest motor that you can do on original QMB 139 50cc is the 95cc big bore kit. That's on our website. Is it actually it's a 90cc?
What?
We used to call it a 120cc because our vendor called it that.
Yeah.
We did the measurements. It's a 52 millimeter, but I think it's a 90cc. That's the biggest you can go. And then if you do a stroker crank, you can do a 95cc. That's the biggest you can go. But seriously, it makes it like it's equivalent to a 125. It's way fast.
Okay, this was a message from Harvey Sims, Facebook. So hopefully you can watch this later. But I just had a 100cc big bore kit installed, new head, 64 millimeter valves, A9 cam, and a 90 main jet. I don't feel much compression out of the exhaust.
So on that, I would check your valve clearance to make sure that that's set right, especially since you did the new cam. That needs to be set at 0.004 on the intake and the exhaust. So check that for sure. And you might double check that 100cc big bore kit that you have is larger than a 52 millimeter because a 52 millimeter is 90 cc's. I know it gets confusing. Otherwise, mine 52 millimeter can be called a 120cc.
What's the best CVT belt?
Best belt, anything Kevlar. What do we use? Gates?
Kevlar, Bando.
Gates, Bando.
That's pretty much all we carry.
Yeah, Gates and Bando. And then you could do the Melosi belts there, Kevlar. Kevlar is like a patented material. They can't always call it Kevlar, so it's they use a different type of material that's the same as Kevlar.
What do you like, the 2T or 4T?
So for like, gosh, two T's I love. Don't get me wrong, I love 2T's. They're so simple though, and I like a little bit of a challenge. And a lot of this stuff that I do is like my Ruckus and stuff. I seriously enjoy like building it and working on it more than I do riding it, which sounds crazy. And that's a 4T. I like 4Ts better to work on. 2Ts have about twice the power of any 4T, just because they have less parts and they have more rotating mass. I like them both though. I had a Stella, a genuine Stella with a 170cc. I can wheelie it. That thing was sweet. You can do, I'm gonna do a Zuma build sometime. That's gonna really showcase the 2T. I'll do a stroker crank, and I might even do that. I don't know. I'm gonna do a 2T build sometime. I've done a lot of them, but just not like total muscle like 232. Short answer is I like 4Ts better. 2Ts are way fun too, though. They're funner to ride, I guess. We got anything else here? We good?
Me and my friends have a truck engine in class next to a Vespa frame, and we joke around and call it the 1 mil cc.
1 mil cc, yeah.
But we also have an inline 4 that we plan to fit in a go-kart.
Dang, that'd be crazy.
Six wants you to do another burnout and I told him no. It smelled too bad.
This chick, we'll do the next burnout. We'll do with the 232.
That's what I said.
You're right. The 50cc's are lame-o. That's not even really a burnout, especially since I can't even like. I was helping it kind of. I was like kind of like pushing on the front to lift the back up a little bit more. I don't think it will honestly do a burnout, especially without the water on it. Next time we'll spray oil on the ground or something.
Rodrigo wants to know on your Passport or your Cub, what are you gonna do with the handlebars?
A lot of people do custom bars on the Cub. I'm gonna just keep the stock bars. I think that would look super classic. No one really does that. And then I have a little round LED headlight that's gonna go in there. It's gonna look sweet, I promise. That's what I'm gonna do. And if it sucks and it doesn't look right, I'll change the bars. But I kind of want to keep that classic look and hot rod look at the same time, and not do what everybody else does. That's what I'm gonna do.
Did you hear an exhaust sound of a 4-cylinder on a Suzuki Bandit?
4-cylinder Bandit.
Did you hear exhaust sound?
No, I haven't. I don't think I have. It's a Bandit, you said?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. That's an ATV, isn't it? That's a Yamaha Banshee is what I was thinking of.
Yeah, I don't know. Victor's on the verge of buying a Majesty 400. What's your opinion?
I don't have a. I couldn't tell you my opinion because I've never.
Happy St.
Rick?
Patrick's Day?
What do you think?
Never
Hal?
go home.
She's sleeping. I scared the hell out of her with that burnout, that weak burnout. All right, we'll see you guys. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next video.